Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and I thought we'd have another better look at my Starfruit plants. This is Avaroa carambola. It is a grafted variety. The name of the variety is completely unknown. I originally bought this from Victoriana Nursery in the days when they still had them available, and of course typically of Victoriana they just buy a few in from Holland or Spain and don't bother to either make a note of the variety or put on their labels what the variety is, so I've no idea what it is, but as it's a grafted one it should be from a recognised fruiting variety. If I was a betting person I'd say it was probably Carry. Now I thought what I've decided to do, we're in the second week of September, and one thing I've discovered about Starfruits is they're very finicky, but two, they're extremely susceptible to certain weather conditions. Now one of the things, and they then suffer dieback, they also suffer from root rot problems like other tropicals of course over here. And to give you some idea, this plant was a good 2 feet taller at the beginning of the season when I bought it outside. It actually I had to cut it back off here because it died back to here. It was much taller, but it was a bit of a skinny sort of like whippy plant, so it's not really the end of the world, barring it's a shame to you know, I didn't prune it back from choice, it died back. Subsequently to that I've kept it at the back of my tropicals to try and protect it from the wind and keep it warmer, because these young shoots on Starfruit are extremely delicate and they are very susceptible to wind damage. Earlier in the season, when back in sort of May when we had some very cool winds, all of the new shoots that were trying to come out were dried up and burnt off by the wind almost straight away. Obviously it's been pretty darn warm in July and August, and even early September's been pretty warm, and we had no rain, so it's probably given the roots a chance to recover. And I've been careful not to overwater it, and in actual fact it flowered quite heavily this year, although I suspect the flowering was probably more stress related than because it was ready to flower. Naturally none of the flowers set fruit, which is no problem at all, as I don't feel the plant's big enough to actually support fruits properly. Nevertheless, it was very satisfying to know that it will fruit given the right conditions. Now what I've decided to do, as it's the middle of September, is to actually put it in my summer house, because I want to cut it off from the risk of the cold winds we start to get in September. Now the weather's not particularly cold at the moment, although we are getting temperatures dropping down to sort of 10, 11, 12 centigrade at night, so sort of 50 to 54, 55 Fahrenheit, and the daytime temperatures have been running between sort of 20 and 24 centigrade, so roughly 68 to 75 Fahrenheit, which is perfectly acceptable for these. But what we are getting, and particularly at night when you have to be wary of the problem, is we're getting a lot more winds, as we always do in September. Now it's fine during the day when the temperature's around 21 degrees, but at night those temperatures of 11 or 12 centigrade combined with the wind will tend to take all of this new growth off. So I'm going to put it in the summer house for, I hope, at least 2 months, because it's going to be a long time before nighttime temperatures are actually threatening. But of course the summer house on sunny days tends to get considerably warmer than outside. So what I'm hoping to do, now it's making all this lovely recovery growth and coming upwards, is I'd like to try and get it to keep pushing this growth for the next couple of months. And I'm hoping, because they're quite fast growing, that I could get another foot or 30 centimetres on top of what I've got here, which would be really promising for winter, and it may give me a chance to therefore overwinter the plant inside, because its other enemy is dry household atmospheres. It's very prone spider mite attacks particularly seem to be the worst pest on it. It doesn't seem to get too bothered by mealybugs or aphids, so obviously it's going to have to come inside for at least 4 or 5 months, and that's when the trouble starts. I need to try and build up its size and strength before that, and therefore I thought we'd move it to the summer house, which I'm using as kind of a nursery for several of my tropicals. And the reason I thought I'd feature this in a standalone video is I know certain people are very interested in starfruit plants, but also they probably haven't watched my full tropical tour that I've done. I did in the second week of September, where I covered where I did a walk around of all of my tropicals, subtropicals and citrus that are outside, but it's over 20 minutes long, and I know people quite often only watch short sections of video, which means they may have missed updates on things like the starfruit. Anyway, I thought that would interest people. It's got this lovely sort of bronzy colour to the new growths, and this is what I want to protect, because at this size, if we were to get a cold winter night, that can be cut right off. The sunshine isn't a problem, they're pretty sun tolerant, and this is probably, this coloration of the leaves is probably like a protective chemical that the plant puts into the leaves to stop them from being sunburnt. So I'm not too worried about it getting sunburnt, certainly not in September in the UK. But what I am concerned about is I don't want that new growth withering up before it's had a chance to grow a decent amount. So I thought I'd feature that a little bit better, because it was hard to film it when it was tucked away in the corner before. So that's my starfruit, which is Avaroa carambola. It is a grafted plant, variety unknown. We may find out one day. I'm hoping it will one day flower and set fruit. I believe they're mostly self-fertile, so in the right conditions we should get some fruits on it, and hopefully they'll taste nicer than the occasional shop-bought ones you can get here, because a tree ripened fruit's always going to be better than one that's been refrigerated and transported several thousand miles. You can see the breeze picking up now, so we'll get this straight put away immediately. So thank you for watching, much appreciate it if you stuck with the video. Please remember to give me a thumbs up. You can share the video if you think anybody's interested in starfruits that you know. Please subscribe to my channel if anything I'm growing interests you at all, and remember to click on the bell if you do want updates on new videos as I release them. I'll catch up with you all soon. Brett out for now.